It means that's why the All-Star reference happened.
Okay. Well, I started streaming. Sorry for the lack of warning, but howdy folks, EJ here. Me too. Where is your lovely face, Shroomy? We do not have it today.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Does Shroomy even have a lovely face anymore?
I don't know, he might not. He might have had his face eaten off by a hyena.
Oh, there it is!
Hey, Shroom! Sorry if I look disgusting, it's because I was at the pool, like, in the heat, in the sun for 8 hours, with long sleeves, avoiding mosquitoes. It was fun.
Oh, I thought that was
jeans.
just you normally.
I mean, yes, but shush.
Yo, hostile.
I fail to see how that was quite that rude, but alright. Anyway, so apparently nobody cares about Paladins D&D except me, so like I was like, hey, we should do it, and everyone's like, oh, I don't care, I'll do it if you do it.
Only if Shroomy doesn't.
Exactly, so this is who we have for today. We don't have Stu or Cassie, so we're doing the side campaign, but Denise doesn't want to do it, so it's just Ray and Shroomy doing it, and then Denise is just here to meme and hang out, I guess, in the background.
Yes.
Yeah, so are you guys ready to start? Sorry,
Yes,
we've canceled
I
like 17 sessions in a row. I apologize. It wasn't my fault.
Yes, it was totally your fault.
I've been here for 32 weeks in a row.
Yo, EJ Monkey be aliving now.
I'd be a lot. Wait, what? Is that the?
That's literally what it says.
Yeah.
On what?
On Twitch.
On the Twitch notification on mobile.
Wow, it says be aliving. Oh my gosh, there's so much chat.
Wow.
Hi, I hate Clover's Re. How's it going? And Joycey, what's up? That's so much chat
Y'all
already.
thought this was gonna be Paladins D&D, but you've been debated.
It
Once
isn't-
again.
It is instead Paladins D&D, but with chat. Ethan, we are here to support you, says I hate Clover's Re. Oh, thanks, yay! You know, I'm gonna switch to this one so that you guys can see the chat. Let me get my face out of the way though, because nobody
But
needs
what
to see
if
my
I don't
face.
want to see the chat?
Then you don't have to see the chat, I guess. I don't know. You know, this is a bad plan. Let me just doot. I'll copy that. Perfect. That is exactly what.
Say what about bad plans, Shroomy?
I said just go to the thing that's causing the thing.
Just go to the thing that's causing the things. Yes, that's the brilliant suggestion. Wait, why do I have two chats? Am I stupid? I think I am. That's fine though.
Well,
Hey, you don't need to be too honest with me here. Alright, I ask a question, but I don't want to hear the answer.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of questions. Anyway, welcome to the stream, and hope you guys have fun. I am tired and stressed.
Aren't we all?
So, do you guys remember what happened when we last left off our heroes?
Tentacles.
Yes!
Hentai.
And tree number 57. Oh, if Hawk is here, I don't know if Hawk's around. He's probably not, but we could get Hawk in here too. Anyway, if anyone wants to message him, feel free. I'm not going to bother, because he probably won't be free. Yeah.
Wait, why do we need to message Hawk? What's happening?
Because it's side story. And last when we left off, tree number 3.
Oh, the tree guy.
Yeah, tree number 3 saved all your butts by turning Hermaeus Mora into a tree as the weird lady in
Wait,
Ray's
that really
arms.
was Hermaeus Mora?
No, I don't know what it was. I mean, it's whatever Stu thing is, but we haven't done any more of Stu's campaign, so I still don't know what it is.
Darn.
Anyway, hi Skyla, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Sorry I can't read chat that well because I have to be DMing and also like managing stream and talking to people, so I apologize.
You can't multitask.
Aw, Joycey says, no one... On one hand, I feel horribly unproductive, but on the other hand, I feel much less sick than I did, as I just slept for half the day.
Hi, Joycey.
I'm sorry you're sick. I hope you feel better soon.
Hope you feel better.
Tree number 3 is the MVP. You're right.
I agree.
So,
For win.
when we last left off our heroes, King Ray Ray had caught this mysterious lady who had been in purple crystal. Yeah, well, whatever. Dejargo had caught this mysterious lady who had been in a purple
he just
crystal.
called me whatever.
I will call you Mr. Whatever for the rest of the campaign if you want. Watch yourself.
Wow.
Dang.
That's the name you've made for yourself. So yeah, you caught this mysterious lady. She instantly passed out after casting like a powerful beam of electricity or light or magic or something up at this mysterious tentacle monster, as the tree number 3 sacrificed his own life to turn most of the tentacles around you guys in this giant crater in the middle of Bloodstone Hold into a forest. So just a giant oak forest has appeared around you guys. There's trees all over the place now, and it's kind of like a peaceful, like the bottom of Dusty Divot or something after it started to regrow. And all of you are just kind of standing at the bottom now, wondering what's happening. And there's like a faint sound of birds chirping in the distance, because apparently these trees that were spawned had their own birds' nests inside them. And you still hear like the sounds of confused scuffling coming from the top of the crater about 200 feet above you all, and you all are sitting or standing in the bottom of the crater wondering what happened. You have Sergei, you have Kite, you have Old Man Sake, you have Dejargo, and I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, and you have Tree 57, who is there as well, just like crying over the mourning, the loss of Tree 3. I mean, it's whatever. If anyone wants to message it, feel free.
Also, I don't know if you know this, EJ, but like yours and Michaela's names are like.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. I needed to disable that one too. Oops.
Nor Michaela.
Thank you. You are not either of those people. You are right. Ethan, where in the world is your sis? She isn't in this campaign. She doesn't have access, or like she's not in this campaign. It would be cool if she was, though. Maybe we'd have another consistent person.
Whoa. Listen.
All right. So, what would you guys like to do? You're currently standing at the bottom of the camp, or bottom of the giant crater, and things happened. You have an unconscious lady in your hands, Ray. She's covered in like a big, thick blue cloak, like kind of mysterious magical cloak with like gold thread along the outskirts.
Do I see her face?
Yeah, you can see her face. She looks...
Do I recognize her, or do I need a roll to remember with my old age?
Roll history, but it's very unlikely that you would have encountered her before, so... Roll history for, like, maybe you've seen her in a history book or something.
Nat 20.
Of course it was a nut.
No.
Oh yeah, Ray has actual dice now, so...
I do get a lot of nat 20s with my actual dice.
Oh wow. It just seems like Ray gets a lot of them. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. This is Dungeons and Dragons. I hate Cloversry. Where?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Wow. Okay.
No, not 20. Just a dirty 20.
I'd say you'd probably you've probably read some books about this when you were like studying the lore of all the ancient paladins or whatever, because the paladins, you know, they all kind of like had their time before our party formed with like Dejargo and Malpheus and all those guys. So the major paladins kind of existed long before that. But if you studied up on them, you'd probably know that this lady was familiar, but just having a little bit of trouble remembering who she is. You'll probably remember as soon as you see one other detail over here, though.
All right. Sake! I think I recognize this lady. She may be one of the paladins.
Can we just have that be canon? That wasn't
you're just still drunk. Always drunk.
I thought that was canon, my dude.
I'm dying too.
That was so good.
What did you say?
I said, this lady looks familiar.
Okay.
Come here and tell me if you recognize her.
I have to move.
Of course you have to move, you old diddy-wit.
I'm coming.
As he's waddling over slowly, you also see like Sergei, who's kind of like slid down the side of the crater at this point. He's just kind of laying in a pile of dirt. He kind of gets up and brushes himself off and like looks up at the trees around him, and he's like, what's happening right here? He seems very dazed and confused. And I guess Kite doesn't care what he's doing, so Kite is just standing there as well, idly, like in T-pose animation, not doing anything.
They see me T-posing.
So, Sake, you make your way over to Ray, and you take a look at this lady. She looks like she's maybe in somewhere between her 20s and, I guess, 35-ish range. Not sure exactly how old she is.
That's a big range.
But she's got, well, yeah, she's got like one of those faces that like looks like younger and like with radiant energy or something. Like she's really, yeah, like Sherby's face. Yeah, she's got one of those kind of faces that looks like really young and youthful and full of life, but at the same time she looks like she might be older. I don't know. You never know. But her hair, from what you can see peeking out of her hood, is like brownish red, and then it kind of goes down into like a blondish braid in the end. And she's still wrapped in this.
Recognize her, old friend?
She looks like the one who used the crossbow way back when.
Oh, I don't remember who that was.
I want to shake her, like try to wake her up. Like, hello.
All right, roll me.
Young lady.
How are you trying to do this? Like gently?
Just like, young lady, wake up.
All right, are you drunk at this point or not? I haven't kept track.
I don't remember.
Always
Considering
yes.
you're drunk 90% of the time,
drunk?
I don't think
so, then
you'd.
yes.
Yeah, wait, yeah, I think you did because you blamed like the giant rumble of stones crashing to the ground on kite farting.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you probably were.
I am very much drunk.
Of course, it has been several hours since then, but it's probably fine. Anyway, so
Jelly screams into her face.
young lady, are you okay? Ray, roll
Young
me.
lady, wake up.
Ray, roll me
What do you
perception. The lady does not wake. She's just kind of still there, lifelessly flopping her head loosely.
Dirty 20 again.
Nice. Okay, yeah, you definitely feel like as you're holding her in your arms, you've got her in kind of like that fireman pose where like her back's here and like legs over the top or whatever. So just kind of holding her in that pose. You definitely feel on her back that there's like something weird attached to her back, as though like maybe she's got some axes on her back, something loose that feels very uncomfortable as she's like being jostled around in your arms.
So I'm trying to position her while where she's like sitting up or something like that, and I'm mumbling to myself, "Oh, I feel something back there." And so as I'm mumbling, I'm just trying to take off the cloak so I can see what's there.
So you're trying to take off the cloak while also
Yes,
do you have four arms? I mean, I guess you have one extra arm. But...
One arm is holding her up while the other is trying to take her cloak off.
I see. Okay. You would probably need both arms to continue lifting her and carrying her.
I'm not carrying her. I told her
you're putting her on the
sat her
ground?
down as if
Gotcha.
she's sitting up.
Gotcha. I thought you meant you were still keeping her as though she's sitting up, but like holding her in your arms still. Yeah, you can do
It's
that.
got PG-13 real quick.
No, it's just like an
I'm just
outer
taking
cloak.
her off.
Yeah, it's just like an outer cloak, like a kind of wizard
okay.
robe or something.
I
So-
knew you'd go there.
Reaction.
Oh my gosh. Well, as you take off this robe from her, you like unclasp a little neck thing and like take it completely off, and you just see these two like giant orange wings on her back.
This is unusual.
The wings are like almost glowing with like a fiery ember.
I think I
But she
know.
is still unconscious.
Heroes never die.
Maybe. Oh my gosh. And Skyla left. Oh, I'm sorry, Skyla. So, what would you guys like to do? As you're kind of like messing with her wings and setting her down, she kind of like makes a face as though she's in pain because you're messing with her wings. At Ray.
I'm just gawking as I'm messing with the wings.
Whoa, these flap.
Maybe you should stop, my friend.
Okay.
Oh, right. I stopped messing with her wing, but I'm still gawking with my jaw down.
Sergei kind of like limps his way over and he's like, "What is going on around here? I saw the trees and the explosions and stuff, and what happened?"
I point at the lady's wings.
Yeah, that's quite odd. What is this? Meanwhile, Kite's...
Kite just like walks like this. He walks towards us.
No,
Like,
he doesn't, his legs don't move. He just slides across the landscape to coming nearby. Oh my gosh. Kite is like,
This is all too.
no, I post them.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Kite! Kite! Can you hear me,
Stop.
friend?
Yes, hello, I am here. I am Kite. I am totally here, my friend. What is it that you need? I am not a chihuahua. I need like a speech to or a text-to-speech translator.
Can you lend us one of your potions, old friend?
Oh yes, I can give you all of the good potions. I have so many good potions. What potion would you like today?
A standard healing potion will do.
Here you are, my good friend. That will be nothing. Because you are a friend, and friends do not charge.
Thank you.
Got that wrong.
Thank you, Chihuahua.
I am not a chihuahua. Now your fee is 5 gold.
I didn't say it. Wait a minute.
I blame all of you collectively as a group. Am I doing a good job of playing your character, DDC? Are you sure you don't want to take over?
You know, I just kind of want to see how things turn out. I'm very hesitant to say that. Good thing none of this is canon.
I mean, it's the side story. It's not canon anyway.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
So, I have a question. How do the potions work? Does the person drink it, or do you like splash it on them, or?
How have you known me for 50 years, and yet you do not know this by now?
Okay, technically they're supposed to be drunk or drinking, but I can
Drinking.
I have an ability that lets me just listen. Don't make fun of me. I'm struggling. You can, but I also have the ability to smash on the ground to heal you as well.
Oh, is that on the
That'd
higher
be the same
levels?
effect.
Or...
I would like to
Hey,
smash this
yes,
glass
Hawk's
bottle
here!
into this
Hey
girl's
Hawk,
face.
if you want to, you can reprise your role as tree number 57.
No, you throw it on the ground.
I know. I'm kidding. I was trying to get you to
That's
like,
just-
shock.
Yeah, but all the shrapnel just take away all the health I just gave them.
Just like glass shards in the eyes.
Yeah, I'll like slowly like open up her mouth and then just like pour it in.
Hey Hawk, if you want to join, just let us know. You can
Oh,
be
fuck.
tree 57 again.
Did you hear me, Ethan?
Oh, what did you say? Sorry, I was...
I said I'll just gently open her mouth and pour the potion in.
Okay. Are you... okay, yeah. Are you gonna force her to swallow as well, or she's kind of... it's like leaking out of her face.
Context.
Yeah.
Choose your words more wisely.
Oh!
Please.
She wakes up.
Wow.
we'll skip ahead.
Breaking out of her face.
Yikes. Yikers.
So her eyes blink
keep it PG,
open,
boys.
and she kind of looks around, and she's like, "Who are you people?"
I'm Sake. That's Chihuahua.
And
That's
I'm
DiGiorno.
DiGiorno.
Hello, yes, I am
Oh,
Chihuahua.
yes, you said DiGiorno. Did you say DiGiorno or DiGiorno?
I said DiGiorno.
And I am Sergey. And I'm Tree 57! You all forgot I was here, didn't you?
That's
Kinda,
perfect.
yeah.
How
Not
could you
gonna
forget
lie.
about Tree 57? He saved my life by hurting me a lot. This is gonna be a mess of me just trying to figure out 4 different voices and stuff. Oh, what did I get myself into?
That is great.
So... Sergey is like, I demand that you tell me all what is going on. This is my hold, and I expect to know what's happening. You all are strange people, and you've done crazy things.
Bad guy attack, we fight back. Is
And-
that good enough?
And who is this lady?
To be honest, I have
don't
no
know.
clue.
We were hoping she would tell us.
I saw she was a pretty lady, so I decided to rescue her.
I am Furia. I
your
am an
only reason.
angel of vengeance. And she kind of like raises
Stabby
her
stab.
fist, and her wings go out and like blast fire, and like
Do
you
I recognize
feel
the noise?
heat
Am I
radiate
name?
from her. Huh? Yeah, you recognize the name, and you're like, dang it, yep, I remember, yep, that's definitely that one. Hi.
That's definitely that one.
So you'll remember that she's definitely like a healer, and she's like got command of the Eternal Pyre and like all sorts of cool stuff like that. Yeah, and her sister was kind of like eaten by the Abyss or something, and now they're kind of at odds with each other, which relates to the whole abyssal nonsense and corruption that's been happening along the world lately. So Fury has introduced herself, and as she's looking at you all like, now, which of you can tell me what happened here?
I'd like to go through the whole Honolulu, the whole shizness with her.
Okay, so you explained to her that you found her in a magical crystal that kind of blew up and a tentacle monster attacking and all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh my, that spell took a lot longer than I thought it would to break. Huh. Well, at least that creature's finally dealt with. Now, where can we go and find some more, well, abyss creatures to dispel? I need to, well, continue the fight. Before, well, the world gets overtaken by abyssal corruption.
Okay, thanks, Hawk.
What happened? Tree 57 casts the spell Rope Trick and then never comes
There
back.
it is. And you wanted me to supply you this.
Well, that was dark.
Oh boy, what is this?
I don't even need to look at this. I know exactly what it is.
What's
That
it
is
do?
dark.
Hmm? Extra dimensional space that opens up. And
There's still left? Dang it.
so basically you just go into an extra dimensional space until you... I don't feel like reading that fully. Basically, Hawk, as the Tree 57, just kind of goes, I'm Tree 57! Wee away! He grabs like a rope that appears out of a magical portal, and he just whoop up the fireman pole, and whoosh, portal gone. He has vanished. Where? We know not. Oh man, that was really weird, guys. I don't know what just happened. This campaign is a mess. Now I understand why Stu and Denise didn't want to continue it.
That's great.
It's an extra dimensional treehouse, basically. That's cool.
Why did you have to name it Rope Trick?
I don't think he made that. It seems like it's an actual spell on Roll20, I guess.
Probably.
Alright, so you guys have been...
I wouldn't doubt if he made it as well.
You guys have, like, kind of caught Furia up on what's happening, and she's just like, well, what are we waiting for? We've got an abyss to defeat. She's like, wanting to go.
Great.
Wait. And she kind of feels around, and she sees you holding her cloak, and she's like, do you know where my sword is?
We didn't see a sword.
I need my sword to command the Eternal Pyre. We need to find my sword. And she kind of like focuses for a moment, and she's like, I can sense it somewhere north. I can't tell how far north, but it's probably
Some
not
naughty stuff
nearby.
going on here.
What? How long has it been? What year is it?
What year is it? I don't know.
I have no
Let's just say
idea.
it's the year 2502 or something. I didn't think about that. I should have thought about that. I actually did think about that, but I just never actually wrote it down, so I never decided.
Wow.
Couldn't think of a
Bad
cool
month.
conventional scheme for how the dates would go. So yeah, it's that year, and she's like, "Oh, it's been nearly 100 years since I entered that spell. This is a big problem. And what is the state of the world while I've been gone?
Problem?
Well, what's the state of the world? There was a crisis happening when I left, or when I, oof." And she kind of motions to the whole like crystal thing and not being aware of her surroundings.
She's very articulate. when I
That's the EJ coming through. It's a real spell. I use it on all my wizards, says Hawk. The date is Tuesday. We started using days to count centuries. Yes, it is the century of Tuesday.
Century of Tuesday, that's great.
She's asked what the situation of the world is, like, what has happened in the past century.
Do we know?
I mean, you guys have been living in the world, so you know what the situation of the world was like in Stu's campaign, and then all the way up through the whole Abyss crisis that's happening in the current world. In case you forgot, the whole like setup of last session was like there's lots of bad stuff, and the world is exploding, and there's like the world's not safe anymore. Paladins and Magistrate aren't really a thing anymore. Now it's just kind of the world versus the corruptions and forces of evil that are kind of going crazy. Demons from the Abyss and Underdark and other nonsense.
I relay all that to her.
And she's like, that's the worst I've ever heard, help, because like that's the whole thing she was trying to avoid before she went into her coma or whatever. So she's like, will you all help me find my sword and get back into the battle?
And where do you think you lost your sword?
Like I said, I can sense that it's northward, and it seems to be a far distance, but I don't know exactly where. I'm not like a compass or anything. I have a connection to the pyre, though. I'll be able to sense it if we get close.
It's north? That's the real question.
Because, you know what? How do you know that it is? Alright. You know,
yeah,
this is
you
too
could
much
say
logic.
it's in that direction.
Too much logic being applied to my actions here. Alright. Joycey's laughing at me too.
Mocking with me, Joycey.
And Sergei's just like, so you were in this magistrate fortress for an entire century? And she's like, magistrate forces? What are you talking about? You guys would know that this was once a like magistrate hold before it kind of collapsed and like, well, I mean, it was kind of collapsed when it became a magistrate fortress, but like it got overrun more by the whole tentacle monster thing just now, and like it's being controlled by this current group of people who aren't really associated with the magistrate, which Sergei's a part of, and he's still there, still just kind of wondering what's going on. He's got his gun pointed at you guys, and he's kind of like, you all still don't seem like a threat, but I must say that if this is a source of power that's been locked here for 100 years, I may have to take command of it.
It's up to what you want to do.
And Furious like, I'm not just a source of power. I am an eternal being. I have unlimited power. And she just casts light on...
AKA a source of power.
Fair enough.
Mood.
So what do y'all think?
Did you say
nude? Mood.
Oh my gosh.
Mood with an M.
Oh.
You guys can say whatever you want to, or do whatever you want to, by the way. I'm just kind of saying things because you're not.
I faced it for while T-posing.
V-clipping.
T-posing and V-flipping? Wow, that's talent.
Impressive, yes. So...
So... I ask the... What do you call him?
Sergei? Stu's character?
Yeah, I ask Sergei. So, where can we find a place for her to rest? It's obvious she needs some time to recollect her thoughts.
Well, we can find a place for her in my barracks. We have many places to stay in, well...
In your what?
What used to be a city.
Barrack.
Please say barracks and not bed.
I said barracks.
Okay.
You
Right,
dirty man.
you
What
gotta
do you...
listen better, but
Dirty elephant.
your mind is like, whew.
Listen, yeah, why aren't these giant ears working?
Why did you say?
They're flopping in the breeze and not picking up anything.
Oh, okay.
So Sergei points up to the top of the crater and he's like, so if everything's dealt with down here, I suppose we can climb our way back out of this forest?
Sounds good.
And Furious just like, I don't need a place to rest. I need to go and feast on the souls of the undead. And
You need to rest first.
I'm fine. She's kind of like stumbling on her feet a little bit as well.
As I said,
I should
you
pass
need to
out.
rest first.
No, she's fine. She's just kind of like stumbling. She seems very tired, even though she's like... I mean, she's done a lot of powerful magic lately, apparently. She hasn't had a long rest in a while, even though she's been asleep for 100 years. When the world needed her most, she vanished. Sorry, what was the last thing that you said? I forgot. Oh, you just want to...
rest?
Yeah, you just want to go up the side of the crater, I guess?
Yeah, let's go up the sided crater. I'll carry her.
Okay. She would
I'll
be...
use my special boots to allow me to move faster.
She'll be kind of offended if you try to lift her up, but she'll allow you to, like, help her. Like,
I'm an
offer a
old
hand or
man.
something.
I don't care if she's offended or not.
Alright, in that case, roll me 2 dex checks. One to scoop her up and one to actually get up to the top. Sure, you roll me a dex too.
17 and a 7 plus 5, 12. Thanks.
Okay. So both of you have quite a bit of trouble when you're trying to get up the steep incline of the side of this crater. It's like a 200 feet deep crater at this point, and most of the walls are made of like crumbled stone, gravel, and loose dirt that's just kind of cascading down as you try to dig your way into it. But you do manage to get up to the top through like a sheer amount of effort. Meanwhile, Denise's just like still T-posing, half glitched in the side of the wall as he's like like going up the side of the wall. And he just like has a physics glitch, and he goes vroom, and just rockets out way up high and disappears in the distance. You'll find him later, I'm sure. But you two do manage to get to the top eventually. Dejargo, you just kind of scoop up Furia without her knowledge, and she's just like, how dare you! And she's like reaching for her sword, which she doesn't have, and she's like, So she proceeds to just kind of bap you in the trunk a couple times with her fist.
Bap.
Bap.
Newspaper.
Exactly. But you guys do make it to the top of the crater, and Sergei kind of looks around and he's like, well, I guess this is what we're doing now. And he follows you. He fares even worse, so he definitely makes it up the last after you guys make it to the top. Once you do arrive at the top, you see still more oak trees that have just spawned out of nowhere, growing out of the like dust, dirt, crumbled stone, and ash that are all around this kind of ruined area. There's still like a lot of smoking ruins and like collapsed buildings all around. This place just is a wreck, basically. And nearby, you can see what looks like maybe 10 or 12 soldiers from Sergei's platoon or whatever, or squad, I don't know what the term for it is. And they're all kind of standing around 2 figures. One is crouched over a body on the ground, and one is, well, the body on the ground. And there are several other soldiers that are just kind of standing at attention, kind of looking around the area, making sure everything's safe as they're like walking around through the newly spawned trees. And there's no sign of the tentacle monster anymore.
I ask everyone, why so serious?
Okay, you do see a couple more bodies all over the ground as well. You can see one of the bodies nearest to you has like a giant hole in it from where, like, I guess a tentacle just blasted through the center of this guy's torso. So that's
why you're so serious.
Yeah. So do you want to approach this group of people who are like, looks like they're mourning or something?
Sure.
All right. So you walk over. Are you gonna put down Furia, by the way? She's kind of flapping her wings.
I'm still carrying her.
She's like a bird that has been grabbed, and she's just like, ah! Over the course of getting up the entire side of the crater, she kind of gave up flapping quite as extremely. But now that you're at the top, she's like, put me down, please. What are you doing? Sake, what are you doing?
It's not every day an old man gets to carry a pretty young lady.
Oh god. Oh god.
She doesn't know how to respond. She's just kind of indignantly sputtering. So this is what Shroomy wanted to do. No.
I made a comment earlier, but like no one's.
Oh, what did you say? I didn't hear it.
Or when she was like all angry and like angsty. Sake was like, "I've never been more turned on in my life."
I literally did not hear that.
I did not hear that either.
I didn't either.
Oh my lord!
Wow. This is gonna go downhill.
Yep.
Joycey says, I guess you could have said it might have been holy. Wow. So, you guys are Shumi, are you walking with them towards the group of people who are mourning, it seems?
Yep.
Alright, both of you roll me perception. Actually, no, you don't need perception. You walk over and you can see that it looks like one of those two guys that was, Sergei's. One of those two guys that was like Sergei's right-hand man kind of person. You know how he had those two old men that were with him when he met you guys? One of them seems to be on the ground, like bleeding out and dying, and the other one, who is still alive, is kind of crouching beside him, like kind of trying to keep him okay, but it doesn't look like he's doing so well. Or it looks like he's basically already dead. Yeah, and the other soldiers are just kind of like, oh, well, this is sad. Guess we'll stand here with our guns.
I bring Furia up to them and I say, I'll let you go if you save this guy.
I've used enough magic already, it seems. Just put me down, you elephant demon creature, whatever you are.
Well, I guess I get to carry you some more.
If you're not with me, then you're a servant of the abyss, and you need to be and she just, like, goes off on you. She continues flapping.
Genos, shut your mouth, lady.
Genos! He's nothing compared to me. And she's, like, annoyed that you would even bring him up. Roll me a dex check to see.
My master?
Roll me a dex check to see if you can keep her in your arms as she's, like, flailing and flapping violently.
21.
Oof. I'll say it's close. Like, you almost lose your grip. She, like, basically almost knocks you over as she's trying to escape. Yeah, but you managed to keep your footing.
Because
they say something.
She's all feisty.
In the background, you see a couple pixels
She's a feisty redhead.
In the background, you see a couple pixels of Kite just like glitching and like flashing in and out of existence, like in a wall somewhere.
Wait, my first red, does that make me a redhead?
Yes, it makes you a red body.
I guess so.
What does that mean?
He's a redneck!
A few moments later, you hear Sergei kind of like reach up to the top of the crater and crawl out like, ugh, I need to lose weight.
I look back at him and I say, it's about time, and here I'm heavier.
Oh, sorry, you cut out. What'd you say?
I said, it's about time, and here I'm heavier than you.
Hey, I don't have some magical floppy Hermes boots or whatever.
Even without these boots, I'm faster than you.
You know what? I resent that. So he walks over and he's like, what's going on around here, sirs? And then he sees his bros, and he's like, oh no, well this is unfortunate.
In Soviet Russia, this is unfortunate.
in Soviet Russia, unfortunate is you. And the other old guy who's like crouching over the body goes, he was like a brother to me, Sergei. I've known him my whole life. And Sergei's like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that. Well, it sucks to suck.
Oh.
I'm sorry. That was so. It's okay. Why'd you have to rush in and be the hero, huh? Leading isn't always about the glory. It's about your duty to your squad. All these men are dead because you abandoned them. I didn't abandon them. I was trying to rush down and like defeat the crystal of death and stuff with the tentacles and the you know, trees and whatever. I don't know.
See how much good that did you?
I remember now. I was drunk because I drank vodka with Sergei.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I always said they were crazy for putting such a young guy in charge. Well, here's the proof. In fact, Captain, I think it's time... I lost my place. I think it's about time we gave the position to someone who has a little more experience under their belt, don't you? And he kind of stands, like, with tears in his eyes, and he draws his gun and points it at Sergei. The other soldiers who are beside him kind of
I put down Furia and I rush between them. Hey, now, there's no need to be doing this.
Sergei's like, oh, hey, this is like a lot to process right now. What is this? I'm still in command here. You realize that you don't work for him, you work for me, right? And Samuel, the guy who's sad and like kind of mutinying here, he's like, I know you're not a bad guy, so you have my respect, but you should never have been put in charge of this place. Just go back to Commander Vilo. I'm slipping into Russian when it's supposed to be the old guy. And find another place, another force to be a part of. I'm sure he can find a new job for you, one that doesn't involve being in command. And Sergei's like, ouch, that hurts right here, man. Why are you being this way?
Perhaps the person who put him in command saw a good future for you all. Perhaps he just needs a chance.
I think they're an idiot too. That's what I would say. Whoever they are, they need to be older as well. But, of course, they're at Sentinel Hold, so if you'd like to go talk to whoever's in charge, you're more than welcome. But as for me, I'm taking command here. I'm done with all the nonsense. As for you locals, I can't imagine why you came to a fortress like this that was being attacked, but I don't want you around here. There are enough bandits and hellspawn around here as it is, and I don't need an extra adventuring old-timers to look after. I don't care where you go, but you all need to leave this hold.
Well, that sucks for you, doesn't it?
You know, I've had just about enough of these insults. All of you need to get out of here, once and for all. Who's that girl? She wasn't with you before, was she?
She's Furia of the Paladins.
Never heard of her. Why is she furious?
Well, then maybe you're too young to take command.
I'm older than you, aren't I? Well,
no,
you know, I
not.
can't tell.
I'm well older than you.
This guy's like 70-something. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm well older than him.
Okay. Joycey says, sounds like you, problem. The old guy kind of just shakes his head and he's like, whatever, just get out of here. You all need to leave me in peace. And he kind of kneels back down by his fallen comrade.
You're too emotional to be in charge of anything right now, friend.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is a stupid plan. And the other soldiers just kind of go, I mean, you left us to die with the monster thing. I didn't like that. They still have their guns kind of like hesitantly pointed at you guys.
Now, you don't need to be pointing these dangerous things. You can poke an eye out.
Yes, because that's obviously the most dangerous part of a gun. The pokey, like, little sight thing on it. You could make so much damage with that.
Would you like it if somebody pointed a gun at you? Especially if you thought you could trust them.
Doubt.
Look, all I know is this guy is not fit to be in command. He never was. I said that from the beginning, and yet they still put him in charge instead of me. I'm just trying to fix things the way they are. If you've got a problem with it, go talk to Commander Vilo. I really don't care.
By what it sounds like, you're jealous of his position.
Yes, and I'm very aware of that. Like, I wanted to be...
you for sure don't deserve
This is the guy who should have been in charge. And now he's dead because this loser over here decided to rush into a pit and get himself knocked over by a tentacle instead of staying up here to command his troop. Does that seem like a good leader to you?
Not all leaders stay behind.
Whatever, I'm done with this. Escort them out of here. I need to find a way to bury Tom here. And some of the guards are like, alright, and they kind of shrug, and 4 of them begin to move towards you guys. What would you guys like to do?
Dab on him.
You just see
He
like
likes to
the
see
glitching
those on him.
image of a dabbing kite just kind of like appear and then disappear like a hologram. Kite seems to have
There's no need
become-
for
And
such
very
hostility.
faintly in the background is bass boosted the Halo soundtrack.
Kite has just become like the Allier intro. He's become the fifth state of matter memes. I hate Clover's Re is singing Let It Go for some reason in the background.
Let it go.
I don't know. Sake, what are you thinking?
Disney stuff in here, plus.
Wait, what's going on?
What are you thinking?
Everyone's pointing, like everyone's like trying to like get us out of there, right?
Yeah, 4 guards are trying to escort you guys towards the exit of this town, or what's left of a town. It's the Bloodstone Hold, and
Hey, are
it's kind
you
of
going
ruined.
to make this old lady? I mean, young lady?
Whoa! Wow, Ray.
Excuse me. You've insulted me for enough time. Once I get my spells back, you better watch your butt, Mr. Elephant Man.
I apologize. I
that's
meant
offensive.
young lady. Are you going to make this young lady walk when she's so tired?
She just kind of sighs. You're still holding her, by the way, so like her walking is kind of irrelevant.
But
Go ahead.
no. I told you I put her down.
Oh, you did?
Whenever I walked in between the guy pointing the
Oh.
gun at the last captain.
Gotcha, didn't realize that, my bad. So yeah, you've put her down at this point, and she's just kind of like, it's better than being carried, at least.
Like Paladins, excuse him.
Excuse him. He missed his whole drama thing about him being
Exactly.
mutinied. See, this is why I wanted Stu to be there, but oh well.
How disrespectful.
Of course, I mean, Denise's only half here. He's like glitching
And of course
it
now
out of
Stu's
existence.
playing Paladins.
That's
right now.
just
Yeah, I
what
know.
Denise was talking about.
Yeah, that's literally what I just said.
Oh, okay.
Get with the
And
time.
because he's half there, he's glitching through walls and T-posing.
This is true,
I'm
yeah.
also playing Super Hexagon on my other monitor, so
Like, you just see a hexagon in the background,
with
slowly
flashing
driving
lights
people
and
crazy.
techno music.
Yeah, it's like hypnotizing people. So,
Also,
these
it's one of
guards
my
begin to
special-
escort you out of the town towards the west. Are you
Get that
okay with
spear
this?
away from me.
They don't have spears, they have like assault rifle, machine gun things.
Get those machine guns away from me.
They're
Don't you know how
poking.
to treat your elders?
Hey, we're not here to shoot you, we're just here to do our job. We take commands, we do what we need to. Hey, but I used to be in charge of you, did I not? Says Sergey. And they're like, I mean, you've made enough mistakes. I don't know. I mean, remember that time you ordered our whole troop to go find you a sandwich because you were too lazy? And Sergey, we don't talk about the sandwich incident.
I look over to Sergey with questioning look. Maybe they are right.
I was hungry that day. What do you mean? It was a good use of resources. Nothing ever happened anyway. Like there was no. Well, there were a couple. There were only 4 attacks that day. It was not a big deal. Only 2 people. 22 people died. I'm making up stuff for Stu because he ain't here.
I really forgot his character. You know?
It's like, oh, Sergey's my character. Yeah.
Wait, what?
I mean, but you're here now.
What are you saying? Stu's messaging. I'm confused. Yeah, Sergey is his character. That's funny. Hey, Stu should join us.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he can defend himself a little better.
Mhm.
Anyway, so they're escorting you to the west. You guys might know of the... Yeah, you probably know about the place called, to the west, due west of here, called Sentinel Hold. Let me go ahead and pull up a map for you guys, or send it in this chat. Boop. Boop. Here is, the map of the area. I'm gonna zoom way in. So, at Bloodstone Hold, it's like a big circular, town, or what used to be a city kind of thing, but now it's just kind of a military hold. And due west of it is Sentinel Hold, which is a place where it used to be kind of like the main in-charge place of the Magistrate before, well, Magistrate kind of dissolved and had bad things happen to it. So now Sentinel Hold is kind of like the base of operations for the group that's been working to stop the advent of the Abyss and the horrible monstrosities that have been plaguing the land from that direction. Yeah, so that's where they're taking you to Sentinel Hold, or at least they're kicking you out of Bloodstone Hold in that direction. Would you guys like to do anything while you're doing that?
You young whippersnappers don't know how to take care of your elderly. We just get here and save your butts. This is what you treat us as?
Bad.
We're just doing our jobs, man. I don't have any say in the matter. But I hear that
could have spoken up.
I hear that our superiors are good guys, though. If you want to talk to them, I
Yes,
apologize.
I'll be talking to your superiors, all right?
Okay.
Now put me the way to their location.
Well, we're taking you to the edge of the city, and then you can go out yourself. It's due west, a little bit southwest, but mostly just due west. Joycey says, "Pretty map." Yeah, I basically stole it mostly from Realm Royale, but yeah, we'll just say that I made it. I did a little bit of photoshopping work.
Yeah.
What do you say, Sake, old buddy? Let's
Old
go.
buddy, old friend, old pal.
I say we go give them an earful.
Sounds good. I even have my hearing trumpet in case they can't hear me.
In case they can't hear me, use it as a megaphone.
Oh, that's true.
I'll be there to translate for you, old friend.
Sounds good, sounds good.
I miss doing that. I want to do that. I think the Jargo just got all his hearing back.
Alright, so as you guys are walking through this really ruined city, most of the stones look like they were made of primarily white stone, but they have been kind of covered in like thick layers of grayish dust and like ash and other junk, so they've kind of faded and gotten gross looking over time. So you're walking through this kind of like ruined city, collapsed buildings everywhere, and eventually you reach the outer wall of the city where there's just a giant gate that's maybe 30 feet high total and like 10-20 feet wide to the sides of you, and there are no doors on it. Looks like if there were any wooden doors on it, they were either burned off or like taken off long ago, and it's just kind of an exit to a dirt path that goes off to the west, curves a little bit south ahead of you, so you can't really see around the bend, and it goes off into what looks like just a forest and goes off who knows how long. Would you guys like
need to
continue?
repair your door.
Believe me, we've tried. The last thing that happened to it was ripped off by a giant tentacle.
Well, tell those tentacles to stop ripping them off.
Oh, Tim,
Well,
that's what he said.
We tried diplomacy, it didn't work too well. We lost Fred and Steve because of that one. It was his idea, by the way. And Sergey's like, what? No, I didn't. No, yeah, I didn't do that one. That was... No, I did that one. Meanwhile, Denise is just like flipping around in the background.
Yeah, I gotta keep getting them updates about me spazzing out.
Yep, he's still just kind of glitching out. It's kind of concerning at this point. You're not sure if he's still...
basically a Minecraft dog just teleporting.
Whenever you get too far from him, choop, he's back. He's freaking out a little bit right now because you all are walking away instead of like crouching. If you crouch, he might stop freaking out a little bit.
I start crouching.
Like foxes. I'm kidding.
Like all foxes.
So, what would you guys like to do? The 4 guards just kind of dump you outside the city, and they're like, now go that way. You'll find Sentinel Hold, and you can do whatever you want to after that. I don't care.
I point back into the city, but what if we want to go that way?
Then you can go around the outer wall.
But that's too much of a walk for an old man like me.
Well, you should have spoken up before we took you here. If you want to be out on the other side of the city, then walk to the other side of the city. I don't care. You can't go through the city though. Go on the outer wall.
Dang millennials.
Dang millennials with their outer walls.
By the way, Sake's house, if you wanted to go back to Sake's house, is like northeast of the city. So you guys are on the wrong side.
Like,
Furious a compass. So
yeah, if you want to go to the higher up, just go due west along this path that you're facing.
Alright, I'd like to just start following.
Bye to the other people there, bye. Bye, Hi Hate Clovers. I guess you're going, but your space key is broken or something. Bye. Doing me confused.
Bamboozled.
That's the noise he's making as he's like
I really miss you.
flipping.
Oh my god.
Alright, so would you guys like to begin traveling off in the wilderness? Sergey is just like, well, I guess I've got nowhere else to go, so I may as well travel with you for now. I need to go to talk to the commander. Yup, one of the people who was listening to me has gone away. Now I only have Mr. Glitch Fox and you. How are you doing?
Mr. Glitch Fox. I don't think I really count.
What happened to you?
My connection is dropping, boys.
You're just lagging really badly.
Dang simulation bugging out on me like this.
Yeah.
48.
What'd you say, Sherry?
I said I'm doing good. I'm sorry for what happened to you, my friend.
Well, that's fine. I probably hate it coming. The only reason I got put in this position anyway, because well, I don't want to talk about that one. I'll let Stu make that up.
Who is this Stu person?
I don't know, I think he was the ancient dungeon master of another land. He kind of created the whole world and then we cancelled 20 sessions in a row.
The dungeon master, you're making no sense, my friend.
What'd you say?
I said, what the heck is a dungeon master? You're making no sense, child.
I don't know, I got a vision of the future and then like I transcended it for a moment and then I had to come back because there were too many glitchy foxes and I didn't know what was happening.
Too many glitchy.
This is why I drink to forget. You understand, right? And he takes another swig. Welcome back, Ray.
Thank you.
So, Sergey is coming with you. Furious, tiredly coming with you. Zanisi the Glitch Fox is somewhere around here, just kind of, like, spawning and disappearing from reality left and right.
I like how we could just,
I'm rubber banding quite a bit, boys. Not gonna
he
lie.
appears on a nearby tree as, like, a hieroglyph and then, like, disappears. He's basically just like the genie.
Go back to my house and then, like, take Muriel with us. And she'll be like, I want my sword!
I mean, she did say that her sword was north somewhere, so your house is technically slightly closer to her sword than where you currently are. It's just far back the other direction. And you wanted to yell at the higher-ups or whatever.
What say you, Django? Do you still want to talk to the higher-ups, or shall we help this beautiful young lady retrieve her sword?
Well, I need to go to talk.
Would be a good idea.
Yeah, I need to go talk to Commander Vilo, because, like, I mean, I may have deserved this, but I still do need to talk to my commander and at least give him a report that I've been mutinied on. Like, I don't know if he'll put me back in charge with a big force and, like, have a civil war, but I don't think we have the men to deal with that, so we'll see how it goes.
Alright, we shall do that.
Okie doke, I can lead the way. I've been to Sentinel Hold many times, and Sergey decides to start heading down the path.
Follow the reason, lead the way.
Okie doke. So, what are you old-timers doing out here anyway? Why are you choosing to explore the world? Haven't seen you around or like your kind around in a while. The elderly
We came here because we saw a giant plume of smoke, right?
Yeah, giant
Yeah.
collapse of a building because tentacle monsters.
Yeah.
Hentai.
We came here because we saw the giant plume of smoke and had to see if we could help it.
Well, yes, but still, there are not many old men who would go out of their way to, like, save the world or whatever. What kind of men are you?
Have you not heard of our names? We're the famous Dejargo and Sake.
Oh! Oh, I have heard your names. Could I get your autograph? I have a little lunchbox right here. It has your likeness on it. Look, I've had it since I was 12. And he holds out a little lunchbox, and it's got like Malthius, Dejargo, Sake, Cassiopeia, and Kite on it. Wait, I forget who I mentioned and who I didn't. Oh, and the other one that I forgot on it. Yeah, I thought I said that one already, so that's why I didn't say that one.
I don't know if you did or not. I wasn't really paying attention.
So he holds out his little lunchbox with like all of the main party people on it, and he's like, "Would you give me an autograph on it? It's a great honor to meet you." I temporarily
stop T-posing and glitching and sign it.
you just like become a puddle on the ground and like write your name, and then you're sink back into the earth.
There's like an animation of like someone writing down something on the lunchbox, but he's still T-posing.
Just like 2 extra arms spawn, so it's got both animations at the same time. Hello, it is always nice to meet a fan. I love you. Don't forget to eat your Brussels sprouts.
Your Brussels sprouts? Oh.
As to the best of my ability, I write my name, and like I draw like a little beer bottle.
Roll me a dex check.
I didn't know you knew how to write your name.
Wow.
Oh, I gotta like open up the thing, fam. I gotta find.
Roll me a dex check.
Hey Siri.
Just because you are drunk. Well, actually, no. You don't get a disadvantage when you're drunk.
It's a 1.
Oh, that's good.
Nat
Oh, that's really
1. All right, you attempt to sign your name on this and draw the beer bottle. You successfully draw the beer bottle. Your name turns out to be more like. Basically, you're just writing hieroglyphics. You are writing what Denise looks like right now.
So, as he's writing that, I'm gonna say, "Oh, I didn't know you knew how to write," and then I look up. Oh shit!
I guess it.
This is toxic. I gotta go.
I roll a freaking nat 1 when it comes to spelling.
You know you're loving it, Denise.
I'm just absolutely enraged.
Are you now?
You can just hear it in my voice. I am very enraged.
I am very enraged.
I just almost died. It's fine. My windpipe collapsed.
I don't recommend dying.
You can hear the seething hatred in my voice.
I can't recommend dying either.
Bum 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 bum.
Joyce says don't die.
Thank you. I'm trying not to.
I died.
Well, Denise is
Well, it's
dead.
okay if you died. I think she's saying PJ.
Yeah. I have tears in my eyes now. From
Got tears in
random
his
death.
eyes. He's got tears in his eyes.
Yeah, this is just such a moving session. So yeah, Sergey is like, "Oh, thank you. I'm so happy. I'm crying tears of joy. Look at them." Why? Maybe it's the voices. Maybe that's why I'm dying. I'm having trouble breathing.
You're probably not used to doing voices.
I'm doing too many, I think. At the same time, it's like
Yeah,
whiplash.
you do like the old man voice, the Sergey voice, and
the Furia voice, yeah, and then robot voice.
Oh, yeah, you got a mouthful.
All right, I'm gonna attempt to cool it with the voices a little bit. The tree voice also hurt my voice. It's okay. I'm only crying a little bit. Wow.
You should be crying a lot. We just gave you our signatures.
Wow. So yeah, he's like really happy that he got your signatures, and then Furia is just like, "You asked for their signatures, but you don't ask for mine. Do you know who I am?" And he's like,
"She's been locked away in a crystal for a while."
The future Mrs. Sake.
Whoa!
Whoa! Oh, what a hit! Yo, is it a hit or is it a miss? That's the real question here.
Hit or miss, I can't see.
She's like,
they never miss, huh?
and she's like, "Who is Sake?"
I point at Sake.
She's like, "Let me see. Sake is the person who I'm going to hit with a magic missile the first time I get a chance, right?
Yes.
Should be just like worth it.
I'll win you over yet.
And how old are you again? I mean, I suppose I can't complain because I'm over 100 years old, but still, I've been in stasis.
We're close to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I've never wanted to date a younger man.
She's just like, maybe I'll go after my sword on my own. And she's like, considering walking off the
That would
path.
save a lot of time.
And then
not
she
gonna
just like
lie.
almost collapses.
I pick her up princess style.
Oh my god. What kind of style again? Fireman style?
No, princess style.
Princess style. What is princess style?
I guess that's fireman. No, fireman style. You slug him
Isn't
over
that
your
like-
shoulder. don't
Isn't
you?
that like
Oh, yeah.
wedding style? Isn't
Yeah.
that called wedding style?
Bride
No, it's called
style. I think is
princess
what you
style.
mean.
Bride style? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought it was called bride style.
But yes, they do that at weddings.
I see. So are you watching out for her wings as you attempt to do this again?
No.
Good to know.
Man.
All right, roll me
Dang.
a dex check.
24.
Yep, you scoop her up again. She's like, ah! And like you pin her wings as you're picking her up this time, and she's like kind of flapping and just like getting feathers in your face, and like golden feathers kind of hit you in the face. Each one kind of smells like burning embers and smoke, and they kind of like sting a little bit as they hit you in the face.
You should really lay off the cigarettes.
I'm the eternal fire of vengeance! Ah! She's just like complaining at you, trying to break free, but for some reason, you're just really good at holding her in place, because why not? So she's
I'm
just
good with the
upset.
ladies.
And she's just forced to be kind of staring ahead, like as Ray's holding her. She's kind of forced to look ahead at Sake, and Sake's just kind of like. And Sergey's just like, alright, well, I'm gonna keep my lunchbox here, and maybe meeting my heroes in real life was not as fun as I thought it was.
Wow.
Never is.
Meanwhile, the trees rustle with Denise continuing to go, "Ooh," just like rising into the sky with no rhyme or reason.
Good. Glad we got that.
So it'll take a little bit less than a day of travel in order to reach the destination that you guys are going along on this path. So roll me first a D1. Yeah, roll me a D100. Someone, anyone.
Okay.
I apologize for my dying.
I don't know how to roll a D100 with the dice I have.
You don't know how to
that's
read a D100?
percentage. That's a percentage, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know how to read.
Me too.
I can't tell if this is a 90 or a 60.
Well,
Which number is first? If it's the 0
First
then
and
it...
90.
Good, okay. 90, and then what's the... Is it 90 total? Like just 90?
90 total.
And then what's the 10 die? Is it a 0? Or...
Oh, do I need to do a 10 die also?
Yeah, because it's two d10s. One is the 9, like the first digit, and one's the second digit.
Oh, I did it with the percentage die. Okay, let me redo that then. Okay,
You
the
rolled
first
both
die
of
was
them.
an 8. The second die was a 6. 9, sorry, 89 then.
I am confused.
You do it with the... I mean, it's fine. We'll just say it's fine.
You're confusing me!
No, like, so you take the... You use the percentage die and the d10. So you roll, like,
Oh,
one gives you the first digit, one gives you the second digit, because the d10 is
Okay.
numbers 1 through 10.
98.
Okay.
98.
Okay, sounds good. I'm dying. Alright, let me just look up which one that is.
Me too. I always die. I guess I always die.
Wow.
Alright. So, as you guys are traveling through the forest, nothing really is happening too much. You hear, like, the chirping of wildlife, you hear the singing of birds and all the nonsense, you hear Denise kind of rustling in the bushes every once in a while. Everyone roll me a perception that cares, because Denise is just like half existing, half not, so I guess he doesn't get to roll that.
I just am.
You just are. You're omnipresent. You just like are a sphere around the party.
What was that? Was that Alexa?
He's
Oh,
an electron
Siri.
particle cloud.
Oh, Siri. Okay, I couldn't tell.
What was your roll?
10.
Mm-hmm.
10 man.
What was yours, Jeremy?
What are we rolling?
Perception.
Perception. Okay, that's a solid 4.
All right.
So I'm busy having feathers flopped in my eyes, and Sake's busy trying to woo Angel.
Yeah, pretty much. Wow. And Sergey is very distracted by it. And Fury is also like just flapping, trying to get away. None of you
just a
guys
hot mess.
are very observant, but you're just kind of traipsing through the jungle. Nothing's really a care in the world. Everything's fine. Well, not really jungle, but just it's the forest. It seems pretty safe, to be honest. It's surprisingly safe considering the whole monsters with tentacles and like demon creatures that are out to kill you every once in a while. So you don't really see anything going on. It's strangely quiet, except for the occasional squirrel. Then you hear
Squirrel!
you just hear a rustle in the bushes off to your left. This doesn't seem like the Denise kind of rustle. It's just a different kind of rustle.
The Denise kind of.
No, it's not the Denise kind of rustle, but yeah. Denise's rustle is very
Distinct.
very distinct because it's got the accompanied sound of like. You don't hear the taser this time.
Lovely.
So would you guys like to just continue on or do anything or?
Denise Russell TM.
The Denise.
Then you hear another rustling to the right side of the path.
Just in case Sake hasn't realized it, I give him my normal alert.
I quickly ready my hand and make it glow.
Oh, okay. You're like, I'm ready to drunkenly Iron Man blast anyone who shows their face. Or actually, high five? Anyone? High five? So you...
Show yourself!
Is that what you say?
Yes.
Alright. So, a moment later, out of the bushes in front of you, about 30 feet ahead of you down the path, you see a, what looks to be a, like, half-elf, half-tigran, human, oh, not human, a half-elf, half-tigran creature, male, kind of, like, jump out of the bushes and, like, crouch in front of the path, in front of you guys, holding, a dagger and a short sword. And he kind of is dressed like a pirate. Like he's got the belts, he's got the buckles, he's got the blue trench coat kind of hanging by his sides, and he's got like a lopsided grin and a like little messy braid that kind of just flops by his side, and he's just kind of sitting there grinning at you guys with a cat-like expression. And he also has got like a long tail that's kind of hanging by his side, and he goes, "Hi, how's it going?"
I grin back at him and I say, "Are you really going to try to sack two old men that have nothing?" I start like I'm doing with my shirt here. I start doing that with my old clothing.
How are you gonna do that when you're holding Furia? Are you gonna drop her?
With my nose. You forget I have a nose?
Yeah, sure, you could use your nose for that. Alright, so
hold up.
this guy looks like he's about 30-ish, by the way. So he kind of gives you a weird look, and he's like, "Alright, old-timers, I'm sorry to do this to you, but my band here's got some expenses. Hand over any money you got, and you can go along your way with our blessing and protection." And he kind of gestures like with a deep bow for you guys to be able to go on ahead.
You fool.
I would like to do the Iro poach and offer tea.
You want to offer him tea? Do you have tea?
I was just joking.
I don't know.
I mean, you can offer him a beer. You definitely have alcohol.
You're right.
Sergey kind of draws his gun. Sergey kind of draws his gun and points it at him, and he's like, Stop! Who are you? What do you? Well, I mean, I guess you said what you want, but what are you saying, Sake?
Would you care for a beer, my young friend?
Yeah, I had enough.
Fair enough. We're not gonna let you harm us or take anything from us, so might as well.
Oh, there's the fun. Come on, you gotta at least give me something, or it's not worth my time.
I could give you the clothes off my back, but you don't want to see me running around in my underwear.
You said you're gonna throw out your back? Ooh. If you don't want to throw out your back, you better, or get a knife to the leg, I'd urge you to reconsider the whole, like, messing around thing. Just give me what you got, and we'll be fine. We can, I don't know, it's whatever. We don't have to end this the hard way. What'd you say?
Yeah,
I got a pretty lady in my arms.
I might take you up on that. And Fury's like, I will destroy you!
Oh! Listen. TOS.
Don't! Just wait till I get my spells back!
Wow.
So what's it gonna be?
Unfortunately, we don't have anything to give you besides my underwear, baby.
Well, I'll decide that, alright?
By the way, it's pretty yellow lately.
Please.
Hey, just turn out your pockets, and I'll take whatever I can get. Even if you got a couple copper, that's good enough for me.
Unfortunately, I don't carry my money on me anymore. I used to, and then one day a youngin' like you stole it while I was asleep.
Alright, come on. That is a good point. I do that often, but still, everyone's got money. Everyone always says they don't have money, but they always got money.
Everybody. I empty out my pockets and I literally have no money coming out.
Wow. You actually don't. And he points his short sword at Shroomy. What about you?
I told you, my friend, all I have is beer. If you want one, all you have to do is ask.
He kind of...
Truthful people, old folk.
Wow, that was not PG at all.
He kind of tilts his head and he's like, sure, toss me one. And he sheaths his dagger and he holds out his hand.
I toss something.
Okay. He catches it and he pops the lid off. Oh, that's some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it, thanks. And how about you? What's your contribution? I see you got a nice gun there. And Sergey's like, why don't we just shoot the thief? He's an idiot. He's like a cat or something. In Soviet Russia, we skin cats and eat them.
Well, my arms are kind of full of a pretty woman right now, so...
I will destroy you!
Wait, the tree's not even here anymore.
You hear another rustling in the bushes behind you, but it's just Denise zapping around this time.
Go get him, Denise!
The Denise Russell.
Suddenly, Denise materializes into actual form and is kind of standing with you guys like, hello, what seems to be the problem here?
Does this scare you enough?
Yeah, I'd be scared of that.
the bandit kind of is
oh,
like,
it's too soon.
whoa, hey now. So you guys are just kind of chilling. You're not scared about this guy at all?
Not really.
Okay, this guy kind of catches on to the fact that he's not really getting anywhere with you guys, and he's like, alright, tell you what, if that guy gives me his gun, I'll leave you all alone and you can go on your way. Sound good? And Sergey's like, no, I want to keep my weapon. That's what I use to kill things. It costs a lot of money.
Perhaps you don't need it. You're currently in trouble, you know.
I am not in trouble. They're in trouble. They took over the command from me. I was legitimate.
Yes, you were legitimate, but hearing their complaints, I'm starting to understand why.
I did only a lot of things. It is totally unjustified that I would be removed from power like this. And
you
meanwhile,
hear this? I asked Robert.
Meanwhile,
you hear this?
Yeah, the half cat-like robber is kind of like watching with a curious expression, like, oh, I hear some gossip that I might be able to use for something. Blackmail? I don't know. He's just kind of like eating popcorn, like, oh, this is interesting.
I tell you what, you let us old timers go, include this lady in my arms, and you could have Sergey.
You want me to take the lady off your hands? I can do that.
No, I'll take the lady with me. You take the man, Sergey.
Wait, what?
I'm sure you
Can I just like float in T-posing and assert my dominance on this child? Worded very poorly, but
Sure, you can just like rise from underneath the ground, kind of T-pose menacingly at this guy, and he's like,
and I yell, "Be gone!"
with a very robotic, glitchy Megatron voice.
I was gonna say roll me intimidation, but the whole reason that you're doing this is because you're not playing, so I'll just have him be like, alright, I can tell you guys aren't worth my time, but I definitely don't want to deal with that, so I'm just gonna head out and see you guys all next time, alright? Bye! And he kind of reaches... Oh, but wait, hold on. Actually, he's gonna say one other thing. He'll be like, I guess I misjudged you. This is kind of a mess. I apologize for wasting your time, but here, allow me to make it up for me. And he kind of bows deeply, reaching into a pouch in his bag. And then he reaches out and throws it on the ground. Those of you who are looking at this, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. How does a nat 20 sound to you?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Roll a 20-sided die.
I did.
I found this on the web.
Oh.
Roll a 20-sided die.
Rolling.
Rolling.
This time.
What this time?
Another 4.
Another 4? Is that a 4 total?
Yep.
Okay.
My wisdom is
All right. Well, Shermie, you immediately as this guy kind of like throws down whatever he had in his hand, there's just a enormous flash of white light, and suddenly you're just like, what? I can't see, and you're like, yeah. It looked like the light actually was kind of coming from directly between, or like the light shone through Denisi, and Denisi was like semi-transparent and glitching, so it still blasted through. So you just have an image of like Denisi burned into your eyes right now. Deshargo, you managed to like look away at the last second, and you're like, oh wow, that was that was bright, but I didn't get blinded, huh? And meanwhile, the guy like kind of reaches forward and grabs the flask of infinity off of Denisi's belt and tries to run off with it, but it kind of like dissolves into dust in his hand, and he's like, that's not fair. But then he runs off while everyone's blinded. Meanwhile, Sergey is like, oh, I cannot see. And just like starts shooting into the bushes, nearly hitting people. But yeah.
Can I take the gun out of his hand?
Yeah, just roll me dex for that, or an attack roll, I guess.
Since I'm, do I get disadvantage since I'm holding a woman?
Yeah, I would say roll with disadvantage.
And because you're old.
Not one actually.
Oh, so you attempt to like reach over and kick this gun out of Sergey's hand. Instead, you just manage to like stub your own toe, and you fall over and drop Furia on her head.
Do I fall?
Can I make a miracle like a catch for Furia?
You can try, yeah. Well, no, you're blind, so with disadvantage, I guess.
Watch him just flop onto the ground, nowhere near Furia.
Just everyone falls into a pile.
Catch that.
I'll say that,
Roll a
Denisi,
20-sided dice, woman.
if you play in this campaign anymore, which I don't know if you will, you don't have the Flask of Infinity anymore, because it just dissolved into dust, apparently. It got Thanos snapped. But I don't think that matters very much, I guess. Meanwhile, the half-tiger guy just kind of, like, runs off into the forest, trying to sneak away.
I survived that.
While everyone's
This is a dexterity,
distracted.
right?
Yes, it's a dexterity check with disadvantage.
22.
With disadvantage?
Wait, how do I check disadvantage?
Just roll twice and take the lower number.
Oh. Roll a 20-sided dice.
Okay, 17 this
Yep,
time.
that's the exact same number.
Whoa, that's cool. So yeah, you somehow, while you're blinded and like, I don't know what, suddenly you realize that you just caught Furia in your arms, and you're like,
His old
oh,
man drunk senses are
hi,
tingling.
I can see how cool you are now, and you're like kind of blinking off the flash of Denisi vision.
It turns out to be one of those anime moments where he didn't mean to by his hands in the wrong area.
Let's not go there. Meanwhile, Denise's just like, just like following this guy, chasing him off into the distance, and he's just like,
I have like
screaming.
One of those copter hats on my head. As it propels, I just float along.
You have a helicopter hat?
Yeah.
You're just being propelled by a beanie, and you're like, No, wait. Denise, can you send that emote of like a kite with the weird, horrifying expression?
What?
What?
I don't know
that
what expression
emote, the one
that
that's like with no, not kite, Pip, the Pip one.
Oh, yeah.
Hip one?
Yeah.
The one where he's like meets Pepper for the first time.
Oh,
No,
that.
not
okay.
that one. The one that
Yeah.
looks like he's rabid.
I mean, I
Not that one. The one that... Okay, never mind. It's the one that you said sometimes... I think it actually is called, like, Fey-Ree or something. I don't remember. Oh, well.
Oh, that. I don't know if I have that anymore.
What?
Hold
that was what I was imagining, the face that you're making as you're just
Oh.
chasing this random pirate through the...
I can Google search it. Ah.
Read.
Anyway, so I guess you guys continue along the path. Meanwhile, Denise is just chasing this guy further and further into the wilderness, going "Ree!" and like glitching out, terrifying
Don't
this
go
guy.
too far now, Kite.
Don't worry, he'll teleport back once you walk too far away. He's a
I'm on
Minecraft
the-
wolf, remember?
Martha Stewart Reed.
So Sergei's glad to still have his gun, and he's like, well, and he kind of like holds it close to him. In Soviet Russia, we treat our guns like children, rocking it in my arms.
Is that what you're talking about?
Did you? Yes! Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. That is what I was talking about. That's the face you're making as you just chase this guy down.
Wow.
It's terrifying. Joycey says, I love the shenanigans in this side quest. Yeah, this is basically just a meme.
We are a meme.
But yeah, that's the last kind of exciting thing as you guys are walking through this forest. The rest of the trip is pretty uneventful. Oh wait, so let's carry out the scene with Furia kind of is... she was not
yeah.
blinded because she's kind of like immune to like bright lights and the majesty of the angelic realm or whatever, but she still is like kind of stunned, and she lands in your arms, Sake, and she's just like, what do you do?
Are you alright, sweetheart?
She goes, I'll be better if you let me go.
Probably be best to keep her in your arms.
This is Desargo saying this after he just dropped her out of his arms,
Yep.
landed on his trunk.
Yep.
But having
It's
you in my
probably
arms just
better to
feels
keep
so
her in
right.
the arms.
I'm gonna be.
What'd you say?
back.
I said,
No, Ray,
it
what did you
feels
say?
so right.
Just same thing. Just was holding my nose.
Gotcha. So she just kind of rolls her eyes and she just like gets on her own feet and starts walking away down the path.
Quickly, catch her! It's not every day we have a young woman with us.
Wow. Okay. So she begins walking away. When she sees that you're pursuing, she starts flapping and trying to go faster. She's like, I don't know if I like these people anymore.
By the way, I have a really high walk speed, so
Oh my gosh.
I'll catch up.
You probably will, yeah, if she's trying to get away at her max speed.
I like hop on the Jargo like, faster, friend, faster!
And Sergei's just like, oh, wait for me, guys. I don't want to be left behind in the spooky, scary woods all by myself. There might be more pirates or something.
Oh, grow up.
There's pirates, though, and also scary tentacles monsters.
And I thought you were trying to be a hero back there.
Well, yes, but only when I have other people to back me up.
I'd like
Sorry.
to continue going after her.
So eventually you catch up with her because she just like gives up and she's like, can we just travel normally?
If you promise to stay with us.
Why do I have to promise that? Will you help me get my sword back? That's the only reason I'll stay with you.
After we talk to the bosses of that town.
Ugh, fair enough. But I need to be able to get my... why do I give everyone a Russian accent? I'm so confused with the voices. My throat is just dying.
Just picture Furia in your head. You should be.
Furia. I can't do the voice though right now. My throat collapsed in on itself. So yeah, she's just like, fine. I'll stay with you guys for now. I forget what else I was gonna say, but yeah, that's it.
And I look back at Sake and I say, "You get a boy."
You what?
You get what?
You get her, boy.
EJ's just like.
Sergey's just kind of like observing this, and he's
I gotta
like
go,
uncomfortable.
Guys. My mother needs me.
All right, see you, Denise. Thanks for coming out.
I may be back.
Okay.
So.
You glitched to DC.
Denise glitches out and fizzles out of existence for now. You got Thanos snapped. So yeah, you guys make it to Sentinel Hold. Seems to be in much better repair than the other fortress. This one still looks like it's got plenty of people living in it. It looks like it's a pretty well defended city. There are like stone fortresses. It's basically kind of like the same kind of areas as Stone Keep. I know you guys have played Paladins, so you'll kind of know that same general like stonework and area. So it's just like a stone city. Looks kind of nice. Roofs, blue roofs. Yeah, nice place. And there's lots of soldiers around. Most of them have magistrate soldier armor on, but again, similar to the last guys that you saw with magistrate armor, the magistrate armor has like all the patches and like crests kind of torn off or dented inward. It looks like this is either old armor that's just been repurposed, or it looks like it's been discredited in some way. So basically it's just armor to keep them safe, but it's not actually like, even though it's old magistrate armor, it's not by the magistrate anymore. Most of it's scuffed up, dented, and or hand-me-downs, who knows. So yeah, that's basically the situation. Most of the people seem like they're at ease, just kind of walking around doing day-to-day tasks. There are many soldiers in this place. It seems heavily defended as you're coming into the gate. And there's a couple people like riding around on horses. There's a red dragonborn lady, not too far away from you guys, like maybe 30 feet away to your right. There's buildings all around you, and you're kind of coming into like a courtyard. What would you guys like to do? As Fury's kind of walking in, her like giant glowing orange wings are kind of spread out and attracting a bit of attention, so she kind of like folds them inward towards her back and makes herself a little bit less noticeable.
No, she's mine. I mean, she's with us.
She doesn't pay you any mind. She's trying to ignore you. So, what would you guys like to do? Would you like to get anyone's attention to try to specifically yell at the higher-ups, or...
I'd like to get the attention of a guard that's nearby.
Alright, there are two guards right at the entrance as you're getting in there, and they kind of hold up their hands, and they're like, "Hold up, old-timers, and young-timers, hello, lady. What's your business in Sentinel Hold today?"
We need to talk to your bosses. We have some complaints about the fortress to the east.
And Sergey's like, "Yeah, I have an important report from Bloodstone Hold. They kind of did me dirty, and I don't appreciate it very well." And the soldier's like, "What? What do you mean? What's your name again?" "I'm Sergey, the captain of... nobody pays me any mind around here. Just let me through." And he kind of just pushes past the guard. And the guard's like, "Excuse me, you're not supposed to..."
He's with you guys.
He just kind of waves you through. He's like, "I don't care. I don't get paid enough to deal with this." I doubt the old men are going to be a problem.
That's what he thinks.
And the lady. So, Sergey starts just kind of waltzing into the town and, like, walking towards one of the larger buildings. Walking right past the Dragonborn lady on a horse. What would you guys like to do?
I stopped by the Dragonborn lady and
The Dragon Ball? Sorry.
Yes. Yes. I stopped by the Dragonborn lady and I say, "Excuse me, miss."
She turns down to you. She's got the same kind of magistrate armor. Looks like she has more clean armor than most of the other people, as though she's some sort of commander or captain, something like that. And she looks down at you, and her face looks a little bit familiar. And as she looks down at you, she kind of like has a weird recollection, and she looks down at you and she's like, "You're Uncle Desargo! What are you doing here?"
Oh, her name was Ruby, right?
Do
I need a roll to remember?
Yeah, roll me history. I want to see how well your old man memory is.
My memory's not holding up apparently in that one.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not telling you anything. What do you want to say?
Do I
Sake,
know
what are you
you
doing?
from somewhere?
Oh my gosh. Do I know you from...
Me and Joyce both said ooh.
She'll be like, I'm sorry, pardon me. I thought I recognized you from somewhere. You
Well,
look really
my
familiar.
name
And then
is
Sake comes
Desargo.
up behind you and like comes right next to you as well, along with Furia. And she's like, I do know Uncle Sake. Yeah, I know you people. You remember me, don't you?
I don't remember much. I was actually going to come up and ask you if you remember a Dragonborn called Malthius.
I do. Yeah, he's my grandfather.
Your grandfather?
Yeah. What do you
Oh, I
mean?
didn't even
How
know
did you
his-
not remember this?
I've got Alzheimer's, I'll be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I remember them for sure. I'm just curious what you're doing here. Are you okay? Have you wandered out of your house? I thought you were doing sculpting these days.
I was, but Sake wanted to adventure, and how could I say my old friend?
Well, there's certainly enough of adventures to go around these days. We don't have enough men doing crazy things. But you guys are a bit old to be out adventuring these days.
Well,
But I
right now
can't stop
we're going-
smiling. It's good to see you all.
Right now, we're going to the your superior's office to complain about the next town over.
Oh, what happened in the next town over?
It looked like an insurrection or something.
Insurrection? That sounds very
Also,
serious.
it was attacked.
Attacked? By what? This is some big news. She kind of like
Big tentacle thing.
she kind of like flicks her reins so that the horse like rotates a couple degrees so she can be facing you guys a little better without having to turn her head so far. What were you saying?
Some tentacle things.
That's
do you
pretty
remember
typical.
those?
Does she remember those?
Sake. I'm asking
Oh.
Sake.
Oh. Yes, surprisingly I do.
Oh my gosh, you two are too old to be out here doing this crazy stuff. But
What you say, miss?
it's good to see you both. I'm glad that you're here. So in case you don't remember me, because apparently you don't, I'm Rose. I am the daughter of Starlight, and it's good to see you all. Yeah, I don't know where to begin just talking about this. But I'm doing pretty well for myself here. I've been here for a couple years now. I actually answer directly to Commander Velo himself, so I'm doing pretty well here. But we're definitely
Can
not
you
doing
take
well in
us to
terms of...
him?
What did you say?
Can you take us to him?
Yeah, I mean, I could. He's a bit busy right now. We don't have enough men doing basically every task that we have available right now, and we just lost an important supply train to Icehaven, so we're a bit short-staffed, low-supplied, and honestly, just in a mess right now. And I'm
Did you
still
hear
worried about
that,
my cousin. So I could, but he probably wouldn't have the time to listen. What did you want to tell him?
Well, we were going to give him an earful about how his men just insurrected one of their own captains.
And Sega is like already long gone into the building at this point. He's probably off doing that exactly thing. If you wanted to, you could follow him, or you could, I don't know, whatever. But he's not in this conversation
What's
anymore.
What's this about that place that you just mentioned?
Ice Haven? Yo, well,
Yes.
unfortunately, let me, she can, like, pull out this map and, show you again the map that I sent earlier. She can point to Ice Haven, which is in the top right corner of the map in the Everfrost region. She'll point to that and be like, well, we've lost our major supply lines from and to Ice Haven, because some bandits or a group of organized crime have taken over Cold Mist Village and Underpass, and unfortunately they've seized a store of ancient crystal-powered weapons that were kept in Underpass, so that's kind of a big problem now. They call themselves, let me figure out where that is, I completely forgot. They call themselves the Skull Guard, and they've seized the entire area. It's kind of impassable, and we've lost all of our supply runs from there now. It's kind of crippling our defense efforts while stopping the Abysscape from spreading. Not a fun time. I look
excitedly at Sake. Look, old friend, an adventure!
Indeed!
And Furia kind of goes, and it's to the north, isn't it?
They may have your sword!
Furia's like, I'm excited. But she also points to the giant purple splotch on the map, which is the Abysscape, and she's like, what is that? Well, that's the Abysscape. It's the amount of spreading abyss corruption that's been leaching into the land from that area for quite a long time now. For years, in fact. And Fury just kind of like gets red in the face, and she's like, I will kill this thing.
Now, sweetheart, there's no need to get angry.
Let me see here. Is there anything else that she was gonna say, or anything else that you want to say to her? So yeah, she's like, we definitely don't have enough men to go back there and take it at this point, but we're running low on supplies, and it would be great if we had some extra help. But obviously you two are too old to even remember your own family or friends, so I don't know what you should call me.
By the way, have you seen Malthius anywhere? I haven't seen him in a while.
She just kind of blinks in surprise, and she's not exactly sure what to say, whether she should just leave you, like, in your delusioned world, and she just kind of decides to say, he's doing fine right now, yeah, really good. Yeah, so maybe you two should head home. It's been a long day for you, I assume, and she looks over at the setting sun.
Heck yes, it's been a long day. We've been having to sleep outside in the wild because the people of the next town kicked us out before we were ready to leave.
They have? Wow. That's really disturbing to hear. Well, I'll definitely look into that. I'll talk to Commander Vilo. I can relay that message if you'd like. Would you like to either write down exactly what you'd like me to tell him, or give me the message to relay along to him?
I turned to Sake, and I about to say, tell him
to
write it down. And then I remembered. My fingers don't exactly put up to writing, so.
Denise flickers in and out of existence.
Everything that I remember.
Okay.
Do I get to roll to find out how much I remember?
Sure, if you want to. Roll for memory.
A 3!
A 3? You remember that something that someone did in the other town made you upset, but you're not exactly sure what it was. You can't really remember. There was something about a battle and something about, like, mutiny, but that's about it. That's all you remember. You just want to give them a piece of your mind and, like, teach those young kids a lesson.
Why did you ask?
And Rose just seems a little confused at this point. She's like, "Yeah, I'll tell them that. Thanks for your report. I appreciate that." Well,
now,
if there's
where
any...
did Sergey go? I start looking around.
Who's Sergey?
The guy that we came over with.
Oh yeah, I think I remember him. He was the one who was put in charge of Bloodstone Hold, right? That's where you came from. Oh, so he's the one. Is he did he cause the insurrection? Is he the problem?
No, well, I'm not sure how much I should divulge without ruining a man's life.
I don't know. We took a risk with him, but we've been expecting a report about what's been going on over there. So I guess we'll sort out that situation. He was here, though?
Yes, I don't know where he went, though.
I'll track him down. We'll see what we can do with him. But thank you for the news. What do you guys plan to do now?
We're going on an adventure!
Ooh, cold place!
What? You guys
and
are...
to fight sword!
You're planning on going to Icehaven? Or to Coldness Village or Underpass?
I've got nothing else to do with my time, sweetheart.
All I do is sculpt these days.
I'm impressed. I honestly, I am. And she kind of gets off her horse and she's like, well, so you want to go on this mission and help with the effort? I mean, we can't spare any other men to help coordinate an attack, but if you'd like to go in a scouting reconnaissance mission, you're more than welcome to do that. Or if you think you could, well, I know your skills are legendary. You and your friends did a lot of cool things back in the day. So if you'd like to go do things your way, I'd love any help that you can get. Just take care of yourselves, all right? And also, if you are going up north, would you mind checking on my cousin as well? He's been getting into some trouble lately, and I'm not really sure if he's all right. His name's Merrick. He's taken up residence in Jade Palace. Oh, not Jade Palace, sorry, in Jaden Gardens. And he found some old magistrate spell book or something, and he's been like reading it obsessively, and he's now shut himself in, and he hasn't spoken to anyone for days. So I don't know, I'm just worried about him. If you ask around, I'm sure you can find him, but I just want to make sure that he's all right and he's not getting into any trouble, because you know, some of those magistrate spells can be a little crazy, if you know what I mean.
Write that side quest down, Sake.
I mean, it's on your way if you're going that way. I would really appreciate it.
I drawed a horsey.
I drawed a horsey. Alright, well, if you also want to go home, you're more than welcome to do that. I know Sake's house isn't too far from here, and I always love visiting your sculpture gardens, Jajargo. They're very nice. Except you do a lot of the same sculpture though, and I wondered if that was a creative choice, but now I'm wondering if you just forget what you've done before, but that's fine. Hey Equinox, how's it going? Welcome to the stream.
Well, I remember I've done whale sculpture, I've done...
Whale sculptures?
Whale sculpture.
Alright, well, I guess it's been good to see you, but you should probably find a room for the night. I can help you with that if you'd like. But I do need to organize the forces to continue stopping the spread of the Abyss forces from the ruins of Ceres. So, yeah.
That would be much appreciated, young lady.
Yeah, of course. I can find you a couple rooms. Who is this lady, by the way? Is she rooming with you, or? And Fury's like,
she's rooming with him.
She immediately cuts in, and she's like, I need no room. I can restore myself with the energy from the sunbeams, and I will rise again from the ashes of mine.
Oh, quiet, Furia.
Yes, a room would be lovely, but not with him. I'll take my own room, thank you. So,
one day, my love, one day.
What did you say?
Who?
What did you say, Ray?
Once you get past the melodramatic side, you get used to her.
Oh my gosh. So, Rose decides to lead you to a side building that's kind of like, it basically is just a hotel kind of thing. It's a little bit nicer than a barracks, but not very much nicer. It seems to be just an unused building that they decided to throw a bunch of beds in and call it an inn. So they give you each a room. There's a little side bathroom area that's shared between the two rooms, and so they put Jajargo and Sake in one room, and they put Furia in the other. And Rose is like, if you need anything, feel free to ask, but I need to go, well, organize the troops. Have a good night. if you,
Good night.
it's good to see you again. I'm just baffled that you guys showed up out of nowhere. Wish you would have told me you were
Give my
visiting.
best to your family.
Oh yeah, I will. And then she eats on out of there.
When she gets out and closes the door, I turn to Sake and say, "Darn, I wish she stayed longer. My bunions are hurt."
Your what?
What?
Your onions? Your bunions?
Bunions.
Yeah, bunions.
What is a bunion? Your...
What does that have to do with her staying longer?
I'm so confused.
I'm
She can
confused.
massage my bunions.
Oh my god.
Bunions?
You don't know what a bunion is?
No. All I'm
It's,
thinking of is Bunsen burners.
It's really thick skin you get on your feet.
Oh, like your foot callus? Wow.
Yeah, foot calluses, basically.
Putting my granddaughter to work. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, I guess that's what you guys are doing for now. Would you like to take a long rest and we can call it for there?
Sure.
Yeah, well, yeah. Cool beans. Sake, there is a, like a keyhole in the door. Like, in the bathroom, since you have a room shared between you guys. Furia is in the other room, so if you wanted to, like, shout anything creepily through the keyhole to Furia's room, you can.
Sleep well, my
She immediately just, like, shoves a pile of feathers into the keyhole. Just a couple fly out. And that's where we'll call it for now.
She likes me.
She wouldn't admit it.
Oh, no, I'm rooting for you, friend.
What did you guys think?
Oh,
It was hilarious.
Yay.
yay for Perp Sake.
Yay for creep sake, you said?
For Perp Sake.
You mean
Gotta love it.
it.
Oh, fun times. I'm glad we did a session after all. We cancel so many times. I don't want to cancel anymore. It makes me sad.
Wait, let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
Where's Kite sleeping? Or is he just outside, just like...
I'm pretty sure Kite is currently, like, glitched out. He's, like, in
Disappeared out
5
over.
different places across the world. He's, like, got half of himself stuck in a rock. The other half is literally on the moon, and he can't figure out how to get back. He's just... You gotta find the 5 pieces of Kite and, like, restore them in order to get him back together. I don't know.
Oh,
Another side
our
quest.
next quest.
5 to 5 pieces of kite, and then you shall save the world.
Yeah.
Call it the Kite Force.
The Kite Force? Oh my gosh. The
That's
Pentafox.
great. The Pentafox.
You gotta find the 5 portion in form Voltron, except form Foxtron. I don't know. Alright, well, thanks for watching the stream. Anyone got any final comments? That poor pirate who has a name, but I'm not gonna say. Alright, well, bye fam. Thanks for coming out. I'm gonna stop the stream. Bye.